It is so good to have you. Welcome everybody who's joining me on Zoom, and welcome everybody who is joining me on Facebook. I'm Mike DeLuca. I'm going to be your host for this evening. Very, very excited to have you here on another Sunday Goal Achievement Mastermind. This program is brought to you by my little company, Integrative Wellness and Development, LLC. And of course, the purpose of this program and the purpose of my work always is to educate and inspire and sometimes perspire, but we do not diagnose, treat, or prevent any illnesses. We do not make any claims for instant lottery winnings and millions and all of that money machine stuff that's out there. We simply are here sharing information that can help you move forward in living a life of your dreams and achieving some of your goals. And this is especially important as we are 4 weeks away from the start of 2023. So I hope that the information we share with you today will be helpful for you in achieving your goals. And excuse me for rocking back and forth, but alas, my mouse has transpired. We are mourning our little mouse here today, but I'm going to use the power of my fingers. So we will be doing a little bit of more manual operation today. So let's get started, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to share the PowerPoint, and we're going to press all the buttons that make the PowerPoint look pretty. And here we go. So the title of tonight is The 10 Keys to Unlocking the Life You Dream of Living in 2023. It's still a shock, but yes, 2023 is coming, and it is coming soon. So these are keys that have worked in my life. These are keys that many of my coaches and mentors have shared with me. Some of them you'll recognize because I've shared them with you in different programs, but it's always good to review some of these and put our attention on them. So let's get to it. Key number 1, develop bigger skills to solve bigger problems. And this is very important because we want to continue to change our paradigms of the past when we often are problem avoiders, and we look for ways to avoid having to face challenging or tough or embarrassing or just plain hard things that need to be done, but they need to be done. And so this first key is about shifting to focusing on continuing to develop our skills so we have bigger skills that enable us to solve bigger problems. Because the reality is, to move forward in life and to gain greater levels of unfoldment, of achievement, and success, the problems are never going to get smaller. Right? The challenges, the higher we go, the further we go, the challenges get more numerous, and sometimes they get tougher. So we don't want to avoid them. We want to develop our skills. We're always looking to gain new skills so that when a problem comes up, we love those problems because we have the skills to solve them, we have the patience to solve them, and we have the trust and confidence in ourselves to solve them. So we want to become problem lovers, not problem avoiders. And we do that by developing bigger skills to solve bigger problems. So that's key number 1. Okay, key number 2. Learn to serve more, serve greater, and care deeper. And this is something I try to do and I look to do every single day. When I wake up in the morning, every single day, I'm looking for how can I provide more value to others, to you, right? When I'm preparing these Sunday masterminds, you know, it takes me 5 to 6 hours on a Sunday to prepare, and sometimes more, prepare these talks, going through the materials, putting the slides, putting the postings on the websites, doing the emails, and then getting ready, and then the hour that I present them. So there's a great deal of time involved in these Sunday programs. And they are a reflection of my desire to serve you and everyone out there who has a chance to see them on Facebook. I want to serve you more. I want to be of greater service to you, and I want to care deeper about you. So every day I'm looking to care deeper, serve more, serve in a greater way. And the byproduct of that caring deeply is we're able to serve more and serve greater. So care deeper, serve more, serve greater, bring more value every day to the world and to others. Have that be the goal versus what can I gain for myself today? Rather than thinking about that only, think about how can I create an impact? How can I create more value in the world because I'm here, right? Right, that's key number 2. I'm moving quickly because there's 10 of them. And then we're going to have a chance to discuss them and ask questions. But let's move to key number 3. Key number 3, be brave, be bold, and be courageous. This is very, very important, right? So often, when we're getting started with something or we're faced with some challenges, we find ourselves looking around for everybody's permission to do this thing that we've committed to do, this thing that might be new, this thing that might be scary, this thing that might be challenging, this thing that might be risky, this thing that might be really, really different from what we've done in the past. And if we are afraid of how others are going to judge us when we have to do the thing we've been called to do and serve in a way we've been called to serve, we are doing ourselves and the world an injustice. So we can't be afraid, right? We can't dim our light to match the expectations, to match the light, the level of light or darkness around us, right? Or the attitudes and lack of initiative of those around us, right? We can't dim our light because they're not willing to turn theirs up. We cannot not do the things we've been inspired to do or have set as our goals, waiting around to get permission from everybody to say, oh yeah, do that because it'll be successful. Most of the time when you try something new, or you're trying to improve yourself, or you're trying to express yourself in a new way, it's a challenge to others, and their first response will be sometimes a negative one. Okay, and the more people that you are around that don't take risks, that just want to do the slow and steady, what's the norm, this is what we always do, the more you're going to find yourself challenged. But don't wait for permission to follow your dreams. Don't dim your light to match the light of those around you. Shine that light as bright as possible every day, right? Because that's what you were put here for. You were not put here to just blend into the background. You were put here to shine your light and be a light. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let's move on to key number 4. Focus more on solutions, right? Let's spend our time in 2023 not focusing on all the problems. And we have all kinds of challenges out there right now for 2023. Challenges with the economy, challenges with the weather, challenges with supply chain, challenges with rising prices, challenges with unemployment. There are challenges upon challenges upon challenges. But if all we do from the time we wake up, turn on the news and look at all the problems, And then we look at our lives and just focus on the problems, the things that aren't going right, and not focusing on solutions, right? We're not going to get anywhere. Some of the most effective and efficient problem solvers in the world, some of them are the elite military units, and those who are in the teams, the Navy SEALs in the US, they are constantly, when they are in battle, looking at focus on the problem, solve the problem in front of you, and you move on to the next problem. It's not about avoiding the problem, it's focusing on it. Don't think about all the things that are going wrong or could go wrong. Think about, what do I need to do to move forward in this situation, right? What do I need to solve this? And this comes from an attitude of taking responsibility for our lives and for the challenges that we are facing, because we have invited and created the opportunity for those challenges by our desire to change and our desire to grow. And that's a good thing, right? But we need to take responsibility that the person who is going to solve the challenge is always going to be us, right? No one is coming to save you. The cavalry isn't coming to save you every time you have a problem or a challenge. Santa Claus is not coming down through the chimney to stop the things that we need to face and we need to solve and we need to change. It's our responsibility and it's our opportunity, because when we face challenges and we come up with solutions, we grow in our creativity, we grow in our confidence, we grow in our momentum, we grow in all kinds of ways, right? Because that's the only way we can grow and move forward, is to deal with challenge. If you go to the gym and you lift Twinkies, right? If you go to the gym and you lift Twinkies, there's no challenge to your muscles lifting Twinkies. Even if it's a whole case of Twinkies, there's not a whole lot of challenge to your muscles. But if you lift 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 25, then 30 pounds in each hand, you work yourself up to that. The challenge to your muscles cause your muscles to have to change and grow and get stronger. So every day we need to be looking at doing things that are challenging us, not things that make us feel safe, not things that are routine all the time, and not things that are not going to feel risky. We need to do challenging things if we want to become stronger. And it's important to focus on solutions. When you see a challenge or a problem, don't go hide your head in the sand, look at it and say, you know, there's a solution right here with that problem or challenge. I'm going to find the solution. What are the many different options I have to solve this problem, to solve this challenge? That's the kind of thinking we want to use in 2023 if we want to move forward. Make sense? All right, let's move on to key number 5. Let's move on to key number 5. Okay, let's see. Key number 5, pay attention to details, right? There's an old saying, the devil is in the details. I say the angel is in the details. The gift is in the details, right? We don't want to try to bluff our way through the things that we need to do and accomplish in order to move forward in our lives, right? We don't want to just phone it in. We want to be looking at, are we paying attention to the details? Because the details of how we do what we do and why we do what we do can really help ensure the success in doing what we're trying to do. But if we hide from the details and just say, you know what, I'm just going to throw this plate of spaghetti on the wall and see what happens, we're not going to have a really good meal from that approach. So we want to look at planning those details, looking at the options, right? Because the little things become the big things, right? Little things that are dealt with efficiently and effectively bring big returns. The little things that are overlooked or avoided bring bigger challenges. So let's pay attention to the details, okay? Number 6, look at what has worked well in your life. You know, take the time when you are creating a goal, you're trying to realize a dream. We want to gain momentum and what I call transferable success from looking at the things we've done that worked out well, that we can draw inspiration, success, and momentum from. And when we are able to pinpoint what are the things that I did that always brought good results, then do more of those good things that bring good results. It's not rocket science, right? If you want to achieve more, do more of the things that bring the results you're looking for. So we want to take advantage of what we've learned from the things we've done well and transfer that knowledge, success, and momentum into the things that we want to do in the future. Okay, who can guess what number 7 is? All right, number 6 was look at what has worked well in your life and do more of it. Number 7, look at what has consistently not worked well in your life and stop doing it. If it's not working for you over and over and over, stop doing it and use your creativity and your focus and look at how can I change my approach to fit the situation, the goal I'm trying to achieve, and the results I'm looking to achieve. The approach I'm taking is not working, right? Do you want to just keep banging against the wall with your head, hoping it opens up a new doorway, or do you look for a different doorway? So look at what consistently is not working well in your life and stop doing it. And, if we look back on our life, why was I always taking the same job where I failed at it before, but I took it again and I took it again and the results were the same? Or why did I continue to date or marry that same kind of person when the results were the same and it was the same, bad situation? Why did I continue to follow through with a certain habit and it continued to cause me problems? Why do I continue that, right? Find the things that are not working well, that are interfering with you achieving your goals, and stop doing them. Because as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? If what the approach we are taking is not bringing the results we are needing, we need to try something different, right? Okay, it's logical, right? Repeat the things that work, stop repeating the things that don't. It seems simple, but, I'm the first to raise my hand and say, I've repeated mistakes, hoping the results would be different, hoping that, well, this time it's a different this or it's a different that. And in the back of my mind, I knew, well, it didn't work last time. It's not going to work this time, right? I need a new approach. I need to do the things that will work or get help to make the things I'm doing work, but I can't be doing it the same way anymore. Okay, let's move to key number 8. Focus on the stories in your life and the things that you do that make you feel bold, courageous, and unstoppable, right? This has a great deal to do with thoughts that we are thinking and the language we are using. We want to focus on those things that make us feel bold and courageous and unstoppable, right? Because if we do that, rather than focusing on the things that make us feel weak or scared, right? If we focus on the stories that we can tell ourselves about in the past, we did this and we were successful, we were bold, we felt courageous, right? Find those stories and repeat them. And not only that, but start getting disturbed. When you stop focusing on the things that make you feel strong, bold, courageous, and unstoppable, and you start thinking about the things or doing the things that wind up making you feel weak, scared, right? We want to focus on what we've done in the past and the things that will inspire us and keep us moving in a forward direction and bring us more success and more happiness, rather than repeating things that don't. And this kind of related, key number 9, guard the gates of your mind. Okay. Watch the thoughts that come up, either within yourself or watch the thoughts that come up in others. Watch your feelings during certain situations. Be aware when you start to feel or think the thoughts or say the words that start to limit you and make you feel small, right? I caught myself the other day. I made a mistake, or I didn't catch something, as fast as I should have. And immediately my inner critic said, "Oh, you idiot. Look what you did. You made that same mistake before. You know how it turned out." And I stopped and I said, "No, cross that out," right? Instead of "you idiot," it's, "Hey, look at this. Here's an opportunity to do something different." Okay. Hey, let's look at this. Let's learn from this, right? Every time we judge ourselves and say something negative about ourselves, it builds up negative energy inside of us, in our consciousness, in our brain, in our mind. And if we do it enough, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And we will begin to say, "Oh, I can't do that because I'm an idiot." Or "I can't do that because I'm not that smart." Or "I can't do that because I haven't been successful in that before." Or "I can't do that because I'm shy." Or "I can't do that." All of a sudden we have all kinds of reasons that we've convinced ourselves that we can't do the things we want to and need to do. And a lot of that is from the language, the thoughts, and the feelings that we've allowed to sneak in through the gates of our mind. And we've allowed them to take root inside of us. And they grow like weeds until they suck up all the nutrition and they cloud out the sun from nourishing the good plants, the good trees we're trying to grow. So guard the gates of your mind and keep the garden of your mind well weeded, right? Pull those things out. Don't feed the things that wind up criticizing, condemning, complaining, and judging yourself and programming yourself to not succeed. Okay. So avoid the things that make you feel small. Focus on the things that make you feel tall. Okay. All right. And finally, for tonight, key number 10. Remember the tyranny of the how, right? So often we get caught up with struggling to master all of the details of the how am I going to do this before actually attempting to make some progress and do something. We get caught up in the analysis paralysis of making sure I have all the details planned out and I've made sure I'm not going to make any mistakes and I've got the really very, very best thing. And no, let me do another draft of that before I start doing it, or let me practice that another 1,000 times. Or there comes a time when if we get stuck and we're spending too much time in trying to find out how do I do this, stop looking for the how and start looking for the who, right? The who can show me, who can teach me, who can help me, who can guide me, who can coach me, so that I can find a faster route to the how and not have as much wasted time and as many, failed attempts, right? So it's important. Look for and recognize the who that can show you the how. And also, in return, recognize when you can be the who to show others the how. Because there are others out there looking to find out what you know, what's worked for you, and you can help them shortcut the analysis paralysis and the tyranny of the constant quest for the how, right? Does that make sense? Okay, well, there they are. Let's move to questions and discussion. Anybody have any questions or comments about any of those 10 keys? Go ahead and unmute yourself, raise your hand, unmute yourself. Janine, why don't you go ahead? You were first.
The last one reminds me of, I think it was Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail.
Ah.
If anybody's seen that movie, there's a scene where he's got to cross this huge chasm and there's no way to cross it. But as he steps out, a stone appears. And then as he takes the next step, a stone appears that eventually forms a bridge. So, finding that I can go into the moment and not know the how, but know that when I get to that juncture, the how will manifest itself, it will show up. And being okay like a kid, not knowing the how, just going forward and stepping out. But that's where it takes the courage to step out when it doesn't seem like there's anything to support you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, thank you, Janine. Yeah, having that bold, courageous confidence in yourself to try, right? To try. But also, if you want to kind of stack the odds in your favor, before you even go out and do it, why not talk with someone who has successfully done it before and get some ideas and pointers about, hey, can you help me with some of the pitfalls, some of the things that you learned along the way, so that maybe I don't make as many of the same mistakes, or maybe I can shortcut and do it in a little less time than you did because, you paved the way, right? Why not? Why not? There's a saying, success leaves clues. If you want to be successful at something, you really do want to seek out the people who've already been successful and find out what they do and how they do it, right? So often we live in bubbles. You know, we hang with the same kind of people who think the same things and do the same things and believe the same things and don't do the same things. If we want to move forward in life and expand our world, we have to expand our network of people and expand our ability to ask other people for help and for ideas and solutions, and not be afraid, because you're not going to look stupid. And this is, you know, I come across this a lot when I recommend to people, hey, go seek out a coach, go seek out a mentor, go seek out a study buddy type of part. Find somebody who has done what you are trying to do and has been successful, and learn from them. Right? There's no dishonor in that. As a matter of fact, that's really smart, and you will be respected. Right? The most successful people in the world have mentors, coaches, and consultants advising them all the time. Right? You think, wow, this person's a billionaire. They must know everything there is to know. No. But they know who the people are that know what they don't know, and they find those people and they consult with them, right? Some of the greatest healers in the world might not know everything, but they have an incredible network of fellow healers that they can contact and say, hey, I have this situation. What's been your experience with it? What would you recommend? And then you gather up your information, you gather up the suggestions and the tools and the knowledge, and then you move forward, and you're so much more capable and able to be successful and bring greater value than just saying, oh, I can do it myself. I'm going to do it myself. I'll find it out myself. Right? There's no need for that. There's a world of people out there who know the hows and can show you so much wisdom. And it just takes, you know, asking. And it takes changing our paradigm, that it's not a sign of weakness to admit you don't know something, or you're not perfect at it and you would really love to have some help. Make sense?
Mhm.
Good. Good. Great. Okay. Thelma, did you have something you wanted to ask or mention?
Oh, I don't know if I can explain it completely, but it just occurs to me that the more I try to change this pattern, it seems to just dig in deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And it's possible I'm not looking at all of the possibilities that are there to change it. Like, for instance, the main cause of it.
Huh?
That kind of remains hidden.
Yeah. Well,
And so,
yeah. Well, you know, sometimes, you know, we hold on to those things that we do to continue the problem or the challenge because they're familiar, right? So, and also sometimes our brain gets defensive when we try to change something, and it really comes up with a lot of resistance. So sometimes it might be a more successful approach to take a look at the thing you are doing that is creating challenges and build some opportunities to do the opposite. Find out what is the opposite of that and start doing that opposite. Instead of telling your brain, stop doing A, right? It's like, you know, telling the dog, don't jump on the couch. All the dog hears is couch. All right, I'm on the couch, right? It doesn't understand, nor does it want to hear the word don't. Just like children don't want to hear the word no, although that seems to be the very first word in their vocabulary many times. We can deal with that by removing the resistance of stopping doing the thing that's negative, by creating a passion for doing the positive thing. And that will eventually replace the negative habit and act in our daily life. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Good.
It does. Yeah.
Give it a try. Let us
Yeah.
know what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jocelyn.
I'd like to maybe bring something to Thelma about,
Sure.
okay, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, because what you're describing is that over time, over years, we tend to repeat, and create kind of a grove, and this grove becomes deeper and deeper, and then it's all dark. And I accompany people with psyche. I don't say it's the solution, but I say what happens is that if in your subconscious, something, a belief of the past has been rooting in your subconscious, no amount of effort with your conscious going to work, because this subconscious belief will constantly sabotage your conscious action, because the subconscious is much stronger than the conscious mind. So the thing is to find ways, and there are some approaches where you kind of deroot some of this and you replace it with something about what you want to do, not what you want to avoid or what you don't want to have, which is coming from that belief of the past, a kind of a limiting belief, but with something that now re-engineer the whole thing with a new subconscious belief that will get you directly to where you want to go. So now we have advanced a little more in understanding and developing techniques that allow us to deroot things that have been there for decades and most of your life. And that's why we repeat all the time, because there's no other belief of a positive that is there in the subconscious that can knock this other one out.
And that reinforces the key about sometimes if we are attempting to change something and we're doing it ourselves and we're not getting any success, it's important to look for resources that are successful in changing those behaviors, right? And creating that change. If we continue to do it on our own and say, no, I'm going to do it myself, and then it's 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, and we're not getting anywhere, that's probably a good signal that, you know what, this experience might take me to a higher level if I seek out somebody who can help me take this to another level. There's no shame in that, right? But if we continue to say, well, not successful, I'll just wait tomorrow, or maybe next week or next month or next year, it will change. Things only change when we change. The situations in our life, the results in our life, they will only change when we make the conscious effort to change. And if we don't have all the tools, there are people who do. So if the how you have been using is not working, find a new who, right? Find a new who can show you new hows. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
I was going to say something silly. We're almost about to see the what is it called, that Christmas show with the Who?
Oh, the Grinch?
The Grinch.
Or Horton Hears a Who? Yeah, sometimes we need the who.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. Okay. Well, thank you, Thelma, for sharing that. Thank you, Jocelyn, for that reminder that sometimes, we need to seek out a who can show us the how. So good stuff. Who else? Who else would like to say something or share something? Or ask a question? Did any of these 10 keys strike a particular chord with you? Did anyone have an aha moment with any of those keys?
I
Some
when
reason.
I
My aha moment was actually a little bit meta. It was like listening to you go, and each one of them I say, yes, yes, And I said to myself, it was like, I've heard this before. I know this. I've heard this before. And so my aha is that you didn't sit at home and say, I don't have something new to bring. You took the things that are tried and true and powerful, and you presented it to us. And I learned not new information, but I learned by being touched by something that I had heard before, that I might even have tried before. And so it, mm, I don't have the right word, but it got under my skin my aha is you modeling to me, that if I know something and it's valuable and it works and it has something to bring, in the same way that you were saying, if it's not working, don't continue to do it. Don't be in the tyranny of repeating and repeating. Sometimes I can be in the tyranny of what's the new thing that I can bring forward. And my experience tonight is how valuable it is to look with fresh eyes at things that you have been teaching us for the past year or two. And so again, I can't, don't let, everybody knows this, stop me from bringing out the valuable contributions that I need to make. That's my aha.
That's really, really important, because you're right. I mean, all of this stuff, they say, there's nothing new under the sun. You're right. I mean, all of the stuff that I've brought out for the last 3 years are things that we know, but are they things that we do all the time? And that's what I feel my opportunity has been, to keep collecting and researching and applying and finding results and saying, hey, let's talk about these tools. Let's talk about these opportunities. And maybe this time, 3 years later from the first time you heard me talk about it, maybe this time you're ready to do something with it.
Yes.
And you may not apply all 10. You may apply just 1 or 2, but those 1 or 2 can bring you 10 steps forward by just using them and having the courage to use them and try them, and really having the courage to try to be tomorrow something a little bit more than we were today. Try to achieve tomorrow something a little bit more. Try to serve tomorrow something a little bit more, or a little bit better, or a little bit more consciously. Right? Try to take more responsibility tomorrow for what we think, feel, say, and do. Just a little bit more, because those little bits add up. And we become more cause in our life, less effect in our life, and less affected by what's happening around us. And we are able to create change and create opportunities. And there's a real misinterpretation and misunderstanding that, we're in tough times right now. It's very difficult or risky or impossible to achieve bigger things in these tough times. And history has shown during the toughest times is where we have the most change, the most evolution and revolutionary, creative and useful things that come through. And some of the most successful ventures and companies and inventions come during the most difficult times. right? So we don't want to let the difficulty of the times stop us from trying to be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, a little bit more successful, a little bit every day, right? A little bit every day. What's that little bit, that we can do tomorrow that we didn't do today, that can take us 2 more steps forward in the direction we're trying to get in our life?
Yep.
Right? Great. Thanks, Samarie.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Jocelyn.
You said something about building on some of what we had already, we've been successful before, and just taking another step with that. And there's 2 elements here tonight, because I think it's very, very concentrated. What you've given us tonight is like the whole thing in one shot. Thank you for that. It's extremely good. But there is something where you say, don't dim your light to match those around you. And I've been, I have been struggling with that my whole life, because you're gonna have the guilt. Why should I do that instead of devoting myself to some of the things the family would want me to do? Or am I selfish and I've been all my life, and even now, and I believe that if life brings you opportunities, it's your responsibility to take it, because, we're just not just personality, we're soul. Soul wants to grow. The mind doesn't. It wants familiarity, wants stability, doesn't want necessarily change. So we have to push ourselves a little bit. But in the dimming, when I got in my 50s, I decided to go back to university. And then I got my master's at 60. And then I continue. And of course, why do you do that instead of devoting yourself to this, that, being the perfect grandmother, being this, that? And now, 10 years later, I'm doing my PhD because I did my master's. And they recognized that I had done about 3/4 of a PhD. Now, again, I get the same kind of reaction. Why would you do that now? What's the purpose? And there's something in me that said, there's something more of a career that I'm in that's going to help me with. And when I just spoke to my grandchild this week for his birthday, he was 21, and he said, "Grandma, you're doing your PhD?" He said, "Come on." I said, "Yes, I do." In what? Oh my God. He said, "Oh my God." So he said, "There's so much about you that I don't know about." I said, "You know what? There's never any limit. There's never any limit." And that's the way to go, because, but still, I have my moment of guilt, of feeling selfish, of feeling maybe I should put the money elsewhere, of feeling all of this. But life has brought the opportunity to make me a better consultant, a better counselor, a better anything to serve the world. And I just took it. Now it's a lot of work. Is it easy? No, it would have been much more easier when I was 30 years old. But as you said, taking more responsibility, it's not necessarily easier, and it's harder in other ways, but at the same time, it keeps you alive. It keeps you inspiring. It keeps you give meaning to your life, and also, I think, keep your soul quite happy and excited about living this life on earth.
Thank you so much. You're a shining example of that, Jocelyn. I really appreciated you sharing that. Yes, you are never too young or too old to learn, to serve, to make someone else's life better, and to take what you're learning and grow from it and do more with it. So that's great. Janine.
Thank you, Mike. I just want to respond to what Jocelyn said. I believe we are eternal beings, and that everything we do, that we add to ourselves, we carry with us into eternity. And not only that the Supreme Being learns and grows through us. So every step we take and everything we add and enrich ourselves, we don't lose any of that. I mean, it's not like it goes 6 feet under when we leave this planet, right? We take it with us. And so I commend you. That's wonderful. You know, Grandma Moses started painting when she was 95, right?
Yep.
And I saw Segovia perform when he was 85. And so,
Yep.
you know, it's just, I think it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Very, very, very important. Sometimes we forget when we make the effort to learn and to grow, everyone around us is uplifted. Everyone around us learns and grows. And it doesn't necessarily mean we pull everyone aside and we teach them. Sometimes they learn through our example, and sometimes it's just we feed into the group consciousness. And they're, you know, it's the 100 monkey effect where all of a sudden, you know, we are all like spiritual tuning forks. And when we learn and we grow, our vibrations, our tuning fork is vibrating at a higher level, and it affects the tuning forks all around us. And so it's really important to continue to look for those opportunities to grow. I just wanted to go back to my PowerPoint because it is time for a commercial message, right? Every program has the commercial messages. So I wanted to just remind folks that these are the holidays. And also, if you are out there looking to grow and to expand, these are programs that I've created to help people. I'm very excited about launching the Evolved Health Caring Thought Leader program. There are several folks here tonight who are involved in that program. I have a number of people who've contacted me. And this is a specialized program for healthcare people involved in any areas of healthcare. It's a master coaching, teaching program with a lot of done-for-yous. There's coaching, one-on-one coaching, there are classes, there's access to all of my courses and programs. I do special sales funnel websites for them. I do special sales videos for them, just a tremendous amount of value, tens and tens of thousands of dollars worth of value for a very small fraction of that cost. So if any of you are in healthcare or know of people in healthcare who are maybe getting burned out or maybe feeling like, you know, my hands are tied by insurance and it's tied by the government regulations and I'm tied by the number of patients I can see. Is there a better way? I can show you a different way to help use your creativity and your knowledge to have 24-hour income and really create a brand new health caring career for yourself. This makes a great holiday present, the Goal Mastery Journaling System. It's my Goal Mastery Journal that dozens and dozens and dozens of you who are attending here have used and have affected and benefited your life. There are 12 or 13 instructional videos that come with it, that you access it all online. There's Quick Start. There's recordings of our study buddy group work in there. So this is a tremendous tool. It has helped me. It has helped all kinds of people. If there is someone in your life who really needs to focus on their life, really needs to understand how to inspire, how to affirm, how to choose the right things to do and the right things not to do, learn to surround themselves with the people, places, behaviors, and thoughts that support their goals and don't sabotage, and learn how to use your dreams, learn how to use all of these tools in one place. There are 7 different journaling systems combined into one, right? An inspirational journal, there's an aspirational journal, there's an affirmation journal, there is a gratitude journal, there is a time management journal, a dream journal, a gratitude journal. There's all kinds of things. Rather than 10 things on your bedside, it's all in one place. It's all extremely affordable. If you go to goalmasteryjournal.com, G-O-A-L mastery, M-A-S-T-E-R-Y journal, Journal.com. You'll find it there. Great gift. It could change someone's life. It has made a tremendous impact on everyone who's used it. That is the first step. After that, my online self-paced masterclass, Your 9 Steps for Goal Achievement Mastery. There are, there's 18, 19 videos in there, video classes. There is a workbook for each of those classes. It takes you through the 9 steps that I've been using for over 45 years and that I've found some of the most successful people in the world have used them. I've broken all of these keys to goal achievement into small, sizable, biteable, digestible steps that you can do to really ensure that you are making the kind of progress you want to make in your life. And you can find that at MikeDeLucaCoach.com. If any of you have people who are really interested in dreams, this is a great course, the RideMyDreams.com course, right? Exploring the wisdom in your dreams, quantum dreaming, directing your dreams, exploring different types of dreams. There's a special dream journal in it, tremendous program. Again, over 40 years of work on my part went into the information that has gone in here. Great program. And as always, I have several of my private coaching programs where I work one-on-one with you to help you identify what is it you want to do. Let's help you create a plan on how to do it. Let's help you remove the obstacles and build the skills and find the who's and create the how's and do everything necessary to help you achieve what you're looking to achieve. Again, you can find out more about that at MikeDeLucaCoach.com. Simple place. So that pretty much is it. And we, interesting enough, are finished up right at 8 o'clock. I'm really happy because I don't want to hold you any further longer than you expected. So as always, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for making the effort. There's a lot of things you could have been doing. For those of you who are joining us on Facebook, whether you're joining us today, tonight, or at another time, thank you for taking the time to view this. I hope all of you will find something valuable that you can use to make your life a little better and certainly to help you unlock the keys to success in 2023. You and your life are so worth taking the time to look at applying tools to make your life better, to make it yourself more successful, happier, healthier. And everything that I've shared tonight will contribute to that. So thank you all for being here. I love you all. I'm grateful for you all for being here. And again, I'm always here dedicated to trying to serve you the best I can and bring something of value every day, every week, every month. So have a great night, have a great life, and we will see you next time.